Welcome to Celeb Scene Central. Ripple effects from the 2024 presidential election have reached the View's Hot Topics table. Co-hosts Sunny Hostin and Alyssa Farah Griffin engaged in a lightly heated debate Thursday during their post-election analysis. Watch in the video above, with Hostin challenging Griffin's assessment that the Democratic Party was out of touch with what most Americans, who voted against Vice President Kamala Harris on Tuesday, valued as they headed to the polls. Griffin, who previously worked under Donald Trump at the White House before resigning and speaking out against him, cited the cost of living as one of the main concerns for rural Americans, though Hostin challenged her by estimating that many people were bombarded with misinformation and didn't have a clear grasp on real issues as a result. This issue of abortion, which I hope we can unpack more, there are a lot of women who cared about abortion, but they were in states like Pennsylvania, where they don't have an ultra-restrictive abortion law, Griffin said. They were voting more because pocketbook issues matter more than if a woman in Alabama is able to get an abortion. Hostin cut in to tell her colleague that such women are going to do worse under a Trump administration, because the only people who are going to do well are millionaires and billionaires in the end. Finally, we talk a lot about these different demographics and assumptions of where they're going to go. Latinos in Texas, a district that's 97% Latino, went 75 percentage points for Donald Trump. Why? Griffin asked, just before Hostin said misogyny was to blame. No, it's on the border. Griffin said, raising her hands in front of her. The border crisis is on their doorstep and they were begging people to care about it for years, and we need to take some lessons. Hostin doubled down, telling her fellow panelists that misogyny and sexism was the takeaway. The lessons are not misogyny and sexism, an exasperated Griffin replied, prompting moderator Whoopi Goldberg to cut both stars off. Knock knock, who's there? Oh my gosh, it's Whoopi, Goldberg said, breaking the tension as the audience laughed and Griffin issued a brief apology. One day after the election, the View co-hosts urged their audience to accept the results and promised that the Democratic Party would ensure a peaceful transition of power. My takeaway is that the system works. We live in a democracy. People spoke. This is what people wanted. I vehemently disagree with the decision that Americans made. But I feel very, very hopeful that we have a democratic system in this country. We should value it, we should love it, we should protest if the situation arises that we need to protest, which I'm sure it will, Joy Behar said. It's been very difficult, but boy oh boy, do we have a country if we can keep it. Griffin and Hostin have memorably sparred on the show in the past, with the former even calling Hostin's approach to an on-air debate in June 2023 a disgrace. Well, Sunny likes to make it personal with me, Griffin said at the time. Are you going to give me a chance to answer? I mean, this is absurd. This is not what this show is about. This is Barbara Walters' legacy, Let a Woman Speak.